Attention please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, as a former player, I can only reflect on spring trainings of the past. But today, base running drills, something I really do not miss at all. Brown and third headed for home, and so are we. As today on Yes, the Yankees and the Blue Jays, presented by Verizon Fios. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with John Flaherty and Flash. Yeah, it is spring training baseball once again today. Yesterday's game was not a good one, particularly for the Yankees. They made 5 errors. Today they're going to be facing the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, one question each and every spring for every team is the pitching staff, in particular the starting staff. For the Yankees, if Phil Hughes is healthy, there's really only one spot open, and the battle's between Ivan Nova and today's starter David Phelps.
David Phelps had a great rookie year for the New York Yankees. He pitched in the rotation. He pitched out of the bullpen. He's very versatile, and he throws a lot of strikes. You see the fastball. It has a little hop on it. What the Yankees love about this kid is the way he competes. He goes out there. He's not afraid to attack hitters. He will have a spot on this club, whether it's in the rotation or the bullpen.
Well, you see the breakdown, both as a starter and reliever. Young man out of Notre Dame University, so he's got the smarts to get the job done. He also has a power fastball. Now let's check out today's Verizon Plus pitching matchup. Brandon Morrow gets the start for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's looking to be one of their better starters, maybe their number 2 starter in their rotation. Last year he won 10 games for a Toronto staff that really was decimated by injuries, including Morrow himself. And you saw David Phelps. He'll be pitching for the Yankees this afternoon. When we come back, we'll have baseball for you. You can see Mark Teixeira in the lineup today, along with Ichiro. They'll be in the lineup. We get back here at Steinbrenner Field. Yankees coming up next. Today's game on Yes is brought to you in part by IMG Academy Youth Sports Camps and Private School. Become more at IMG Academy. And by Poland Spring Brand, sourced only from carefully selected natural springs. Born better. Well, it's a beautiful day here in Tampa. The wind, well, the breeze is blowing out. So might be a good day for the hitters this afternoon. And David Phelps will be on the mound for the New York Yankees, and he'll be facing this Toronto Blue Jays lineup. presented by Hyundai, and they have just about their opening day lineup here. Jose Reyes will be leading off. He'll be at shortstop. Melky Cabrera bat second. He'll be in left field, followed by Jose Bautista. He'll be in right. Edwin Encarnacion will be at first base. Colby Rasmus has been scratched from the lineup, folks. He's got a sore right shoulder, so he's out of there. He's been replaced by Rajai Davis. Brett Lowry will be at third base. J.P. Arancibia will be the designated hitter. The lineup has actually shifted around a bunch. Henry Blanco will be doing the catching this afternoon. And former Angel, Meiser Asturias, will be at second base. There is Joe Girardi. And Joe, I talked to him briefly about what went on yesterday. He wasn't smiling yesterday.
You see the numbers for David Phelps. 11 starts, an impressive 3.34 ERA, just under 100 innings pitched in the big league level last year.
A lot of excitement for this Blue Jay team, and one of the reasons is the batter at the plate, Jose Reyes, came over in a big trade from the Miami Marlins over the winter.
There's our scouting report on David Phelps, an impressive rookie year. We saw that ERA of 3.34, fighting for a spot in the rotation, but he's a swing man.
Speaking of swinging, Reyes does. Fly ball to center field for Gardner. He is there and makes the catch for out number one.
Well, good news for David Phelps and the New York Yankees. He can pitch out of the bullpen. He can pitch in the rotation. Actually, his numbers out of the bullpen were better than as a starting pitcher. So you would assume he has a spot on this team. The question is, will he be in the rotation or the bullpen?
Yeah, I think anytime you can strike out 96 hitters in 99 innings, you're going to find a spot somewhere. Here's the second hitter, Melky Cabrera. Signed by Blue Jays as a free agent. This is Melky's fourth team in 4 years as he takes a pitch in there for a call strike. The Braves, the Royals, the Giants, and now Toronto. Of course, he started out with the Yankees. Those are his numbers with the Giants last year before being suspended for 50 games for using PEDs. Grounded to second, and quickly 2 up and 2 down.
Kenny, this is what the Yankees like about Phelps. He is not afraid to challenge hitters. He pitches to contact. You mentioned the strikeouts. He throws a lot of strikes. And for Joe Girardi, Larry Rothschild, they know if he comes out of the pen or as a starter, he will throw the ball over the plate.
Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Toyota. 70 degrees today here in Tampa. Breeze blowing the center, as I said, in the Bronx, 49. That is not bad at all. Jose Bautista, these Blue Jays must want to get back to Dunedin. They're swinging at the first pitch, and this one's going to be back in the seats and out of play. They must have got wind of the pace of yesterday's game, Flash. 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Ooh.
Scintillating baseball. Bautista, only 92 games a year ago. Had a wrist injury in which he suffered at Yankee Stadium. Still hit 27 home runs in 92 games. Takes a pitch for a call strike, and it's quickly 0-2.
No, it's amazing how far Bautista has come from an extra outfielder, now an everyday guy with all that power that you mentioned. Changed his swing a little bit in his approach, and it's worked out.
Low and away for a ball. I actually talked to Stick Michael about him yesterday. We'll take a look at the injury last year first at Yankee Stadium. And he hit that ball well. It was foul, but you could see he was in obvious pain, and eventually he had to have surgery on the left wrist. That pitch is in the dirt. Did he go? No. First base umpire is Marty Foster. He says Bautista was able to check his swing, and the count is 2-2. If you go over the last 3 years, nobody has hit more home runs than this hitter. 124 home runs in the last 3 years. And Stick Michael was raving about him as an all-around player. That pitch is high for a ball. The count is full at 3-2.
And it's really amazing, Kenny, because this guy, with him, the Blue Jays win ball games. Without him, they do not. 28-42. But he transformed himself from an extra outfielder to now all of a sudden this power hitter, and really did it with a little bit of a leg kick with his left leg.
3-2 pitch, and it's low and away. Went to the breaking ball, and it's ball 4. And one thing he does, he has a good eye. He'll take a walk and pass the baton to the next hitter, who is Edwin Encarnacion. There is John Gibbons, second time around managing the Blue Jays. He was hired by the GM, Alex Anthopoulos, after John Farrell was traded to the Boston Red Sox, last year's manager. Encarnacion, a breakout season, 42 home runs, 110 runs batted in, both career highs. That is in there for a strike. And he, like Bautista, made an adjustment in his swing, and now he is much quicker to the ball, and it resulted in a big home run season. 42 of them. Ball and a strike. 4th in the league in home runs, 3rd in runs batted in, 7th in walks. Once Bautista was gone, people didn't pitch to him as much. 5th in on base percentage, 5th in slugging. Tied with Josh Willingham, Minnesota. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Doesn't get cheated.
Well, we showed John Gibbons, manager of the Toronto Blue Jays. He has a much better ball club this time around than he had his first time as the manager of the Blue Jays.
He managed him for 4 years, went 305 and 305. He was a 500 manager. They're expecting more this year. That is called strike 3. Phelps dots the outside corner, gives up the walk to Bautista, but leaves him at first base at the end of the first half inning. No score. The Yankees are coming to the plate. Here is manager Joe Girardi checking out his lineup card, and we're going to take a look at it ourselves as the Yankees get ready to hit here at the bottom of the first inning. At the very top, it's going to be Brett Gardner. He'll be in center. Ichiro Suzuki's in right field. Mark Teixeira's at first base today. Travis Hafner will be the DH, and he'll clean up. Juan Rivera's in left. Chris Stewart will be doing the catching. Dan Johnson at third base. Jose Perella's at second, and Gil Velasquez will be the shortstop, and he'll bat ninth.
Well, that lineup for the New York Yankees, they have their hands full facing a tough right-hander in Brandon Morrow. Manager John Gibbons sending him out here for the spring training start. He sees numbers from last year. 10 wins, the ERA under 3. Impressive strikeouts, 108, 124 and 2/3 innings. We'll look at our scouting report. He put it all together last year. And finally, he is a rotation guy. He had been a pitcher who pitched out of the bullpen a little bit, then moved to the rotation, and flying under the radar a little bit. R.A. Dickey coming over to the Blue Jays, Josh Johnson, Mark Burley. Brandon Morrow probably has the best stuff on that staff.
Yeah, that's very true. The fact is his season was somewhat derailed last year with a ribcage injury. He among all the Toronto starters, really had an injury-plagued season. Pitch to Gardner is over the outside corner for a call strike. And make no mistake, Morrow is a strikeout pitcher. Only 16 games for Gardner last year. His season derailed by an elbow injury. Eventually had surgery, but he did hit .323. He's off to a great start this spring. He's 5 for 8. That one misses. Ball and a strike. He had a 3-run triple here yesterday, and or a drive to deep center field. And he's looked great during batting practice and in ball games. He's had at least one hit in every game he's played. This ball is popped up into short left field. Coming on is Melky Cabrera. He shields his eyes from the sun, makes the catch, and there's one down. Let's check out the rest of the Blue Jays on defense. You saw Melky Cabrera in left field. It's going to be Rajai Davis in center, Jose Bautista in right, Brett Lowry at third, Jose Reyes at short, Myceres Torres at second, Edwin Encarnacion at first, and Henry Blanco, the veteran, will be doing the catching. Here's Ichiro, another Yankee batter who's having a pretty good spring. He was 3 for 3 the other day in Clearwater. And Morrow misses with a curveball. It's up high for ball one. Ichiro, you see what he did with the Yankees. He hit .322 once coming to the Yankees with 5 home runs. The thing about it, that is his career batting average, .322. And Joe Girardi thinks, you know, with the short porch and right, Ichiro might add a few more home runs into that column this year. Line drive into left field, a solid single for Ichiro. He's on with the first hit of the ball game. Continues that good spring.
Well, this is what Ichiro is known for, spraying the ball around the whole field, the ability to drive the ball the other way. You mentioned the home runs. I think they will be inflated this year at Yankee Stadium. Last year when we watched Ichiro hit, he kind of picks his spots to try to drive a ball to right field. A nice approach there in his first at bat, just slapping one the other way.
A slash and dash. He's at first. Here's Mark Teixeira. Blue Jays employ the shift. Even spring training, they're giving away their defensive posture. 3 fielders on the right side of second base. Ichiro with a good lead over at first. And that pitch is in there for strike 2. 0-2 on Teixeira. A couple of fastballs from Brendan Morrow. Ichiro still has the speed. 29 steals a year ago. Inside, backs Teixeira off, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, it's interesting with this shift. We see the third baseman Brett Lawrie is actually playing second base now out in short right field. Reyes stays at shortstop. Is Torres at second base.
Hits the outside corner for call, strike 3, and Teixeira didn't like it. So he didn't believe it, one or the other.
Take another look at this fastball, and it just dots the outside corner. We talked about Morrow being a strikeout pitcher. He has all the stuff. Just beats Mark Teixeira there with a fastball in the outside corner. Obviously not happy with the call.
No, I don't think he believed it, number one. So 2 outs now. Ichiro at first and Travis Hafner, who's the designated hitter and the cleanup hitter for the Yankees this afternoon. And he'll take the pitch a little high, maybe a little away for a ball. The defense has shifted somewhat. Is that Lowry still out? But he's a little deeper now. I think teams move the third baseman over there because they leave the shortstop on the left side of second because he has the most range. Ball is hit hard by the first baseman, and there might be a play. The throw to first is in time to get Hafner. So the Blue Jays defensive posture works out. I believe that play will go 3-5-3. Shot off of Encarnacion. Lowry's there. Encarnacion back to the bag. And the Yankees are retired.
Well, it's been a big offseason for us, and great expectations, and you know, not only in our own country, but in the baseball world. They think we have a chance to do something, and it looks good on paper, but we haven't done anything yet. But I think our feeling is, we think we're going to be in there until the end. Whether we win it or not, who knows? I mean, there's a lot of good teams out there in the league. There's a lot of teams that have been through it. Know what that's all about. The Yankees in particular here. So nothing's going to be easy. We just don't want to get ahead of ourselves because this can be a long, tough road.
Manager John Gibbons talking about his ball club and the team scouting report brought to you by Tri-Honda. He mentioned it, a busy offseason, a lot of new acquisitions, and with that, the bullseye will be on their back. We'll see how they play with all of those expectations, and then obviously a second chance for manager John Gibbons and a much better ball club this time around in his managerial stint.
Here's J.P. Arancibia, the designated hitter today. He is the starting catcher for the Blue Jays. He lines one foul into the seats. Arancibia, another Blue Jay player that suffered an injury last year, broken hand. He only appeared in 102 games. He's a home run hitting catcher, 18 home runs in 102 games. You can see the low on base percentage. Maybe he needs to get a little more selective at the plate, but he's got one thing on his mind: hitting the ball hard somewhere, and he gets a base hit, a leadoff single here in the second inning.
Yeah, he's definitely an offensive catcher behind the plate. Henry Blanco obviously behind the plate today. Arancibia DHing. And the one thing I liked about him, Kenny, when they brought R.A. Dickey over, Arancibia actually started working out with Dickey, trying to catch that knuckleball and figure it out. And the Mets traded Josh Tolley over here with Dickey, thinking that he would be the everyday catcher when Dickey pitched. Arancibia didn't sit too well with him. He said, you know what, I want to turn myself into an everyday guy behind the plate, and that kind of showed me something.
Tolley was the one who caught Dickey in New York. So Blue Jays thinking, well, we're going to need somebody to catch him. Here's Brett Lowry, and he swings at the first pitch, lifts a high fly ball to right field. Ichiro is there, and he puts it away, and it's one pitch to Lowry, and he's retired. And one down here in the top of the second inning.
Getting back to that with Arancibia, I mean, that kind of showed me something, because it's so easy as an everyday catcher to say, you know what, I don't want to mess with the knuckleball. I'll catch my 4 games and let somebody else catch a knuckleballer. And this kid doesn't feel that way. He wants to be behind the plate every day, and it kind of showed me something.
Now, what if, that's good, because what if there's a day where Arancibia, they're facing somebody Arancibia hits pretty well? What's John Gibbons going to do? Not play him?
Yeah, you obviously want his bat in the lineup.
Here's Rajai Davis, who was not scheduled to be in the lineup, but he takes a pitch for a strike here. Colby Rasmus, the #1 center fielder for the Blue Jays, came up with a sore right shoulder and was scratched. And Davis, who was an everyday player last year, among the league leaders in stolen bases, is now kind of relegated to a 4th outfielder spot. But he's a pretty good 4th outfielder.
I was just thinking, he's probably not happy with that, but a nice guy to have on your bench if your manager John Gibbons can pinch run. You talked about the speed.
Bouncing ball over the bat, going to be a tough play. Stepping on the bag is Perella. Throws on the first in time for the double play. A 4-3 double play, and that's it for the Blue Jays here in the second inning. In the inning and a half, there's no score here at Steinbrenner Field. We'll be right back. fans, individual game tickets for the 2013 season at Yankee Stadium are on sale as part of a pre-on sale exclusively for MasterCard cardholders from now through Sunday, March 3rd at 10 p.m. To use your MasterCard to purchase tickets, visit Yankees.com/priceless or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Here we go, bottom of the second inning. No score here in Tampa, Florida. Juan Rivera getting a start in left field today. He's one of the candidates to replace the injured Curtis Granderson. Rivera, of course, a veteran. Morrow deals, and the first pitch is in there for a call strike. We told you earlier that Rivera had come through the Yankee system. In fact, he spent 2 years here at Tampa. Line drive down the left field line, and this is headed for the corner. Rivera's headed for second base, as Melky Cabrera has a bit of a problem coming up with it. It's going to be a double anyway, so a leadoff double for Juan Rivera.
Rivera comes into camp as a guy trying to get some at-bats against lefties. The Yankees know what he can do offensively from the right side. Gets a fastball up and hammers it to left field. Bigger question mark with Rivera, what can he do in left field? Can he be an everyday left fielder while Curtis Granderson is getting himself back? And that's yet to be determined here in spring training. But he's always had a good swing from the right side, a little bit of power.
Here's Chris Stewart, who's doing the catching this afternoon. Let's see what he tries to do. He's trying to hit the ball right field as he should. He hits this one foul, headed towards the Yankee bullpen. Trying to advance Rivera from second.
Yeah, nice opportunity here for Stewart to have a productive at bat, advancing Rivera to third base. And talked to Joe Girardi yesterday about the catching situation, and he said, listen, it's going to be a little bit different. You know, Chris Stewart, Cervelli going to have to move runners over a little bit more, bunt maybe, situational hitting. Don't have the power behind the plate they've had in the past.
Power fastball underneath the chin somewhat. Ball and a strike. Yeah, Yankee fans remember Russell Martin and the 21 home runs last year. Russell, of course, signing with the Pittsburgh Pirates as a free agent. 1-1 pitch hit hard on the ground. Reyes on the backhand, up with it, turns, fires the first, and it is in time. They got him. A bang play at first called by Marty Foster, and Jose Reyes turns the play from deep in the hole.
Well, Jose Reyes has always been an exciting player. Has a little trouble with the handle here, but a strong throw across. Chris Stewart gets called out. Mick Kelleher, the first base coach, obviously not happy. It looked like it was a tough call. You always want the hits, whether it's spring training or the regular season.
Looks like he was safe, and I believe Chris Stewart might have got thrown out of the game. Marty Foster with the call, and Stewart, he said something that Foster didn't like.
Now, this is something you don't see every day in a spring training game. Obviously, Chris not happy with the call.
Here's Dan Johnson, who's playing third base today. Wow, you didn't get thrown out of many spring training games, did you?
He's in mid-season form, Marty Foster, with that ejection.
Inside the corner to Dan Johnson. It's no balls and 2 strikes. It's tough to get thrown out of a spring training game, although, you know, I played for Earl Weaver. That happened to him a lot. No balls and 2 strikes on Johnson, who spent some time with the Chicago White Sox last year, spent most of the year at Charlotte, where he hit 28 home runs. Yankees signed him as a free agent, minor league free agent. 3 home runs with the White Sox a year ago. Just missed, and it's 2-2. Johnson does have a good eye. That's one thing he's noted for. You just saw Rivera at second. He's over there with 1 out. Off-speed pitch lifted in the air to right field for Bautista. Puts it away in medium right field, and now there are 2 outs. Oh, Robinson Cano getting the day off today. Not completely. Went through the drills earlier this morning. Jose Pirela gets the start at second base. And Perella spent last summer playing at Trenton and hitting .293. We got some blimp shots working today. Flash,
spring training.
Yes.
You don't see the blimp every spring training game, just like the ejection of Chris Stewart.
Yeah. Here's a strike to Perella. Direct TV blimp up there today. And you know what? They need spring training as well, don't they?
You can tell by those flags fighting a little wind up there as well. Good day to be a hitter, Kenny. Wind blowing out.
Outside to Perella, and it's a ball and a strike. Boy, Morrow's got a good fastball. You can hear the pop of the glove of Henry Blanco all the way up here.
What I've noticed with Morrow and his fastball, he started this inning about 88, 89 miles an hour. Rivera hits the double. All of a sudden, it's about 93, 94.
Hit well to right field. Bautista retreats a while and makes the catch for the final out here in the bottom of the second inning. Well, quickly, we've gone through 2 innings here at Steinbrenner Field. No score, Yankees and the Blue Jays.
Well, top of the third inning here back at Steinbrenner Field. Great shots from the blimp. And we're lucky enough to be welcomed in with Meredith Marakovitz. Meredith, how are you today?
I can't complain, Flash. Life is good out here in the outfield.
Beautiful day to be out there. And, you know, Meredith, every day we come here to watch these spring training games, a topic of conversation is always going to be Mariano Rivera and how he's coming back from that knee injury. Any news today?
Well, he actually threw a simulated game earlier today around 9:50, just before 10 o'clock. He threw 18 pitches, but we saw something out of him that we have not seen yet this spring training, and he actually fielded the position, fielded 2 bunts and a grounder, and the biggest news out of that is the fact that he didn't feel anything in his knee. He was asked if he was nervous, that he thought it would be a problem fielding the position at all, and he said no, but it's nice that I had the opportunity to do so and kind of prove to myself that that knee wouldn't be an issue. And he said still, the true test is going to be when I get in a real game as to how I feel the position and how that knee feels. But he's not concerned right now. Everything on schedule. Arm feels good, and location command is good as well. So all signs point to a go for Mariano Rivera moving forward.
Well, was there any news on when he might actually get into a ball game?
Not yet, Kenny. I think it's still, they're going to allow him to throw a couple more live batting practice sessions or maybe a few more sim games before they put him in. But you have to remember, he's a guy that typically doesn't throw a ton of innings here in spring training. He doesn't often get started in games until the second week of March, the first week of March. So he's a guy that's not in any rush to get into a game, but I know fans are certainly anxious to see him back out there on the mound.
You know, we saw those video highlights, Meredith. It looks like the same old Mariano, and everybody who watches him throw, so the guy looks the same, so that's good news for the Yankees. What about CC Sabathia, #1 starter, had his elbow cleaned up a little bit in the offseason? How about his progress?
He's another guy that threw a simulated game. He actually threw right before Mariano Rivera, and he threw 2 separate sessions, 21 pitches in the first one, sat down for a little bit, then 25 pitches in the next one. And the biggest key to that is he's throwing all of his pitches. He said when he initially got on the mound for the first time, coming back from that elbow surgery, he was a little bit nervous because he didn't know exactly how that elbow would respond, how it would feel. But he said it's 100% and he doesn't feel it at all. At the end of last season, when he would follow through, he would feel a little something in that elbow, and obviously that probably was a deterrent for him and hindered him a little bit on the mound, although you didn't hear about it until after the season. But it was something that maybe mildly affected him, and he said he feels 100%. He's confident in what he's throwing, and he's a guy that's itching to get back out there in a real game. He was asked, when will you be in a game here in spring training? And he initially thought that they had said, are you ready to get in a game? And he said, for opening day, no, I'm not ready for all of that yet, but he is anxious and ready to get into a spring training game, so that'll likely come pretty soon.
Well, there was some news made yesterday as Joe Girardi was talking about one of his potential starters, and that was Phil Hughes, and he mentioned it might be a while before he gets out there, Meredith. What was Joe talking about?
Well, Kenny, he was asked the question about Phil Hughes, whether or not he's in jeopardy to be ready for the start of this season, and Joe said, yeah, you know, it's a concern. He potentially would not be ready if he doesn't pick up a ball soon. Right now he's just doing pool workouts. There's no exact date as far as when he'll begin throwing. But in speaking to Phil Hughes and talking to Joe Girardi, they both said he needs about 4 or 5 outings here in the spring. He needs his pitch count to be up to about 70 pitches for Phil Hughes, saying before he believes the Yankees will allow him to go out there and throw in a regular game, in the regular season, that is. So right now it's not in jeopardy, but if he doesn't start throwing in the coming days, I think it's something to watch and something that could be a bit alarming.
Well, Bobby Wilson, the new catcher for the Yankees, comes in and throws out his tourist with a nice throw to second base. Meredith, we thank you for all of those updates. I'm sure we're going to be following all those stories the rest of the spring, and we look forward to hearing you talk to some of the players later on.
Anytime, Flash. I'll talk to you guys later.
Meredith has a nice seat out there, huh?
Yeah, that's
very comfortable out there.
Chilling out.
Speaking of comfortable, David Phelps making it look pretty easy here into the 3rd inning with 2 outs. Facing Jose Reyes for the 2nd time. He flew out to center field to lead off this ball game.
I was impressed by Bobby Wilson. He doesn't get much time to warm up. He's in there for Chris Stewart, who's thrown out a game, and he throws out a runner. And the happiest player probably is Gil Velasquez, because the runner got on because of an error. Here's a look at it. Bobby Wilson was known as a defensive catcher when he was with the Angels, and that throw is right there, and there you go. His tourist, his former teammate, he threw him out.
You know, watching that play, Kenny, makes me think about the old Toronto Blue Jays. They weren't into stealing bases, right?
No, not under Cito Gaston.
That's right. As Reyes slaps one right back up the middle for a base hit with 2 outs. So you got to believe with this Blue Jay team and John Gibbons managing, a lot more speed with Reyes as Torres.
And you know the power's there with Bautista and Encarnacion and Aaron Sibia. Jose Reyes, a couple years ago, the National League batting champion, signed with the Marlins as a free agent and traded after 1 season to the Toronto Blue Jays. And has a chance to be the best Blue Jays leadoff hitter since Robbie Alomar.
Pretty good one.
Who's now in the Hall of Fame.
With 2 down, it brings up Melky Cabrera. Grounded out his first time. And you see Reyes has stolen bases since 2005. And Melky Cabrera is going to love this if he hits second in this lineup with Reyes on first base. Obviously, pitchers have to pay attention to the running game. Should be good news for Melky Cabrera.
Yeah, a couple of reasons. Right? Attention's divided. More of a chance for a mistake. And you see more fastballs with a speedy runner on first base. And not only that, he's sitting right in front of Jose Bautista, one of the most dangerous hitters in the league. So he's going to get some good pitches to hit.
Pulls one foul.
Yesterday, Flash, on the way home, I heard Bautista interviewed on the radio, and he was speaking of the opportunities to drive in runs. Good hitters in front of him and fast hitters, which means that they can score from first on a double. And he was speaking not only of himself, but Encarnacion, who will probably bat behind him. Reyes and Melky Cabrera, both with pretty good speed.
And Reyes is on the move. Wilson comes up with another throw, and this one is going to be late. A good jump by Jose Reyes. Another stolen base. I think the Yankees better get used to seeing that he's going to be running a lot in the American League East.
Well, the whole idea is to keep him off first to begin with. There's a shot from a blip. And even from way up there, you can see he has good speed. An exciting player.
Reyes now in scoring position. Melky Cabrera blocks one off the other way, slicing. It looks like it's going to be foul.
I wonder if that, what do you call that, a goatee? Well, it might slow Reyes down, wouldn't it? Don't you think?
I guess the only question, Kenny, is how he's going to hold up in his legs on that artificial surface up there in Toronto.
That's a good question. You see the movie Lincoln?
I did.
Abe had one of those working, didn't he?
I think Abe could pick him up and put him down quite like Jose Reyes.
Yeah, well, he had a lot on his mind, if I remember correctly.
Reyes taking his lead off of second base. A 3-2 count to Melky Cabrera and a fly ball to left center field. Brett Gardner on the move. And he makes the play. David Phelps, 3 shutout innings here this afternoon. We'll see if he comes out for the 4th. We are back for the bottom of the 3rd, and our aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Raymond James Stadium, right across the street from Steinbrenner Field, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a treat, Kenny, to get these blimp shots here in spring training.
You can see the Steinbrenner Field along with the rest of the Yankee complex there.
New pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Brandon Morrow went 2 innings. J.A. Happ. See his numbers last year with Houston and Toronto. He will face 9-1-2 for the New York Yankees. Gil Velasquez, Brett Gardner, and Ichiro Suzuki.
Yankees signed Velasquez as a minor league free agent. Actually played a few games in the big leagues last year with the Marlins. Spent most of the year at New Orleans with the Zephyrs. 312 down in New Orleans. There's something in that gumbo down there.
Well, getting a shot to play shortstop this afternoon. Derek Jeter still working his way back from the ankle surgery.
Every day gets closer to being in the lineup.
As we watch Happ working here in the bottom of the third, I guess he's always going to be known as the pitcher who broke Curtis Granderson's right forearm.
Yeah, that was last Sunday. Granderson getting plunked by that pitch. It looked kind of innocent at the time, but the X-rays showed a fractured forearm.
Good fastball right on the inside. Half for strike 3. This was last Sunday.
Yeah, it was. And in the first inning, Granderson's first appearance of spring training at the plate. You know, I was thinking about this after it happened, and they say hitters' reactions aren't good at swinging at pitches at the beginning of spring training. That might also apply to getting out of the way, the pitches that are pretty close. And Granderson, well, they said it's going to be about 10 weeks before he's able to come back.
There'll be open auditions all spring training to see who can fill in left field until he comes back. And what do you think? Maybe the first week of May if the Yankees are lucky?
First or second week of May. And of course, he's going to have to go out on the minor league rehab.
Brett Gardner having himself a good spring training. 0 for 1 today. Fly ball to left field. I really think he's a big key to the Yankees season, Brett Gardner. Can he stay healthy? Maybe lead off this year, get on base, steal bases, score runs. The Yankees going to have to do it a little bit differently this year. Not as much power in the lineup. And Brett Gardner going to be a big piece to that puzzle for Joe Girardi if he can stay healthy. 2-1 from Happ is popped up. Jose Reyes coming in, calling it, makes the play. 2 down. It's going to bring up Ichiro Suzuki as Joe Girardi, Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, looking on.
Well, we talked about Ichiro maybe hitting a few more home runs. His career high, the best he's ever had, was 15 in the season. That was back in 2005, of course, with the Mariners. You know, Ichiro's leaving, left. He got left, traded to the Yankees. They're bringing in the fences at Safeco Field.
Are they really?
Yeah, they are. It's going to look completely different. I think they're also putting in an Edgar Martinez restaurant. It's guaranteed to be a hit.
You know, Kenny, I remember the scouting reports on Ichiro when he came over to Seattle, and you know, you could pitch him inside. That was where you had to try to get him out. And watching him hit last year, it seemed like he was covering that a little bit better, taking some opportunities to try to drive the ball to right field. Power numbers improved a little bit, and you expect the same this year. And a good hitter's count right here, 3-1.
No, he actually hit more home runs with the Yankees than he did with Seattle, which leads you to believe that maybe he is thinking about that right field porch.
Good swing there. Hard ground ball on the right side. As Turris, a nice play over to Encarnacion. A new pitcher, J.A. Happ, comes in and has a 1-2-3 inning. We're scoreless here at Steinbrenner Field. The Yankees have launched Yankees Ticket Exchange, the official resale marketplace of the Yankees and Yankees.com. It's a safe, secure, and convenient way for fans to buy and resell Yankees tickets. For more information, visit Yankees.com/ticket exchange. Another great shot of Steinbrenner Field. Scoreless here at the top of the fourth, and a new pitcher for the New York Yankees, David Aardsma. You see his numbers last year coming back from Tommy John surgery in the minor leagues.
Aardsma, of course, has had a lot of big league experience. I think of late with Seattle. He was their closer for a while and then did a very good job for them. The Yankees took a chance. They signed him knowing he needed the Tommy John surgery. Now he's back pitching, at least in spring training.
Comes here in the fourth inning. He's going to face the middle of the lineup for Toronto, Bautista, Encarnacion, and Aaron Sibia. So a good test here for David Aardsma. Gets a swing and a miss.
You know, not many players can say that they are ahead of Hank Aaron in any category. But Aardsma is. Of all the players who have ever played, he's #1 alphabetically. Aaron's #2.
Good fastball is popped up center field. Brett Gardner settling underneath it. Be a routine play for the first out here in the fourth inning. You start thinking about the Yankee bullpen, Kenny, and this guy could be a nice addition. You got Jabba Chamberlain, David Robertson.
Here's a look at that last fastball that actually beats Jose Bautista, who's a very good fastball hitter. Bautista maybe not mid-season form, and you saw him just flip the bat away. He knew he didn't get it.
We'll see where Aardsma fits into that Yankee bullpen. I mentioned Jabba Chamberlain maybe the 7th inning, David Robertson in the 8th, and here's some of the candidates.
Yankees have just traded for Sean Kelly. He too was in Seattle. Clay Rapata, Boone Logan, lefties.
Encarnacion ahead in the count 2-0. Hits a hard ball right back up the middle. Second baseman Peralta makes the play.
I was looking at Aardsma's numbers. He had back-to-back years in Seattle, 2009 and 2010. He had 38 saves one year, 31 next, and then the injury problems started to surface. Originally selected by the San Francisco Giants. Also pitched for the Cubs, briefly for the Red Sox, maybe not so briefly, 47 games, 2008. I'm sure they weren't in a row.
Aardsma gets 2 quick outs here in the top of the fourth inning, brings up the designated hitter Aaron Sibia, and a base hit his first at bat. And he gets beat with a fastball, fouls it off. That's going to find the seats.
Consistently 92 and 93 miles an hour on the radar gun for David Aardsma.
Well, Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, Joe Girardi, the manager, obviously looking on. Be pretty happy with their pitchers this afternoon. Looked like a good split finger fastball right there, dropped down and in.
Remember when the Yankees had John Lieber?
Yeah.
They signed him under the same circumstances. Brian Cashman signed him even though they knew he needed Tommy John surgery, and eventually was able to help him. One thing I remember about Lieber, fast. He worked fast. Here comes it. Got the sign. Here it goes.
You know, I was a teammate of John Lieber's, and I'll tell you what, there was no better pitcher to catch. He worked fast. He threw strikes. It was basically, here it is. You're either going to beat me or I'm going to beat you.
Dinner's on time.
That's right. Aardsma ahead in the count 1-2. Fastball up at 94 miles an hour. Looks like that surgery on that elbow has worked. Good velocity, good sink on the split. Trying to have a clean 1-2-3 inning here in the fourth. Good fastball up in the zone, sneaks it by Aaron Sibia. So Aardsma comes on in relief of David Phelps. Has a very impressive 1-2-3 top of the fourth inning. Yankees fans, bring your family, friends, or business associates to Yankee Stadium for a group outing and enjoy Yankees baseball in an individual game suite. Individual game suites can accommodate groups as small as 12 and up to 382 guests with all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverage packages. Make your special occasion legendary. Call 212-YANKEES or log on to yankees.com/suites today. 382 in the suite, Kenny. That'd be a nice party. Wow. Bottom of the fourth here at Steinbrenner Field. We are scoreless. Nice afternoon for the pitchers and a new pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays, Sergio Santos. See his numbers last year. Had some arm problems, only 6 games, 5 innings.
Actually had surgery, shoulder surgery. He was supposed to be the closer last year.
He will face the middle of the lineup for the New York Yankees. Mark Teixeira, first pitch swinging, ground ball to second base. Is Torres over to Encarnacion, an easy first out here in the bottom of the fourth. Santos came over to be the closer, but it ended up being Casey Jansen.
Well, Santos now looks like he'll be in a setup role. He's an interesting story because he had been in the Blue Jays organization before, but he was a shortstop in the minor leagues. And in fact, my son Justin played with him in the minors, and he said he was the best batting practice hitter he ever saw. Routinely hit the ball 400 feet out of the ballpark. But once the game started, they started throwing sliders and curveballs, and he was having problems. And then he went over to the White Sox, and they told him, GM Kenny Williams and Buddy Bell, who's one of the minor league directors, told him if you want to get to the big leagues, you're going to have to be a pitcher. At first, he didn't want to do it, but he's in the big leagues because he has a very strong throwing arm.
Working his way back from surgery. Playing on that fastball, 96 miles an hour. Jose Reyes going out to left field, and a nice running catch. Jose Reyes, you can never question his athleticism.
Or certainly his speed. We talked about the fact why they leave the shortstop on this side of the field while they move the third baseman to the right side, because Reyes has this type of speed. Not to say that Laurie couldn't get to it if he had been over there, but Reyes certainly can outrun him and makes the play on a difficult play. The defense was shifted well to the right, and Reyes covered the ground for out number 2. Nice play.
2 quick outs for Santos. He's going to face the left fielder today, Juan Rivera, who had a double his first at bat. Slider in there for strike 1.
Santos has one of the better sliders in the league. Very hard slider.
Pretty good combination. 96 miles an hour with the fastball. A good slider. Ooh.
Nasty.
Mentioned earlier, Juan Rivera coming into camp trying to get some opportunities against left-handers, but he's got to face a righty and Santos with a nasty slider.
That is a July slider in February.
You said Santos couldn't hit the slider. He's got a good one, though. Quickly ahead 0-2 to Juan Rivera, and he goes with the fastball that just misses on the outer half.
There's a case if you can't beat him, join him, huh?
Probably one of the question marks for the Blue Jays, how their bullpen will respond. Talked about their starting rotation being a strength. Jansen will be the closer. Santos, ground ball right back up the middle for Juan Rivera, and another base hit. So Juan 2 for 2.
That fastball was not located quite as well as the other ones, and Rivera was able to get to it. Second time he's hit the ball hard today, this time right back where it came from. Right over the mound and on into center field for a base hit. Take a look at the pitch. The target is away. You can see the pitch missed the target. It was up and in the middle of the plate, and that's how it found the barrel of the bat.
Here's a situation. Henry Blanco behind the plate. Santos on the mound. You start questioning your pitch selection. We've seen some good sliders. Went with the fastball. Juan Rivera picked up a base hit.
96. Man.
Bobby Wilson gets his first at bat. Chris Stewart Got thrown out by the first base umpire Marty Foster early on in this ball game. Wilson came in, threw a runner out, now gets his first at bat this afternoon.
Their first ejection of the season. You know, if he's had shoulder surgery, he's throwing 96. There'll be pitchers lining up for shoulder surgery.
Talked about that bullpen for Toronto. Santos will be setting up. You got Darren Oliver back for another year, left-hander. The 0-2 to Bobby Wilson. There's that slider we saw earlier in the fourth inning. It is a good one. We got a pitcher's battle going on here at Steinbrenner Field. Beautiful day here in Tampa. We'll be back for the fifth.
Top of the fifth inning on our Audi scoreboard, no score. The Yankees about hit the Blue Jays 3-2. Ken Singleton along with John Flaherty. And right now we are graced with the presence of manager Joe Girardi down in the Yankee dugout. And Joe, I guess right away the first thing we're going to talk about is your pitching today. David Phelps and David Ardsma, both looking very good.
Yeah, very sharp. Let's start with Phelps. I mean, he had everything going, and he was locating. And he actually, you know, we had to send him down the bullpen to throw some more pitches because I think he only threw 36 pitches in 3 innings. That's great from the start.
What was his limit supposed to be today?
He could go up to 50. So, you know, he went through 10 or 12 more down in the bullpen just to get him up a little bit, but very pleased. And then Artie came in. It looked like his slider was good today, so threw strikes, and that's the important thing.
Now, does Ardsma have a legitimate shot at it? Because he's a veteran. He knows what to do out of a bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a closer. He's been a setup guy. I mean, he has a lot of experience. Health has kind of gotten in the way of him the last couple of years. But, I mean, we signed him thinking that he could be part of our bullpen.
High drive towards center field coming on his guard. He's going to have to play it on a hop as Lowry has a base hit. Now, of course, this morning, we had visual proof of this that both Mariano Rivera and CC Sabathia threw. And what did you think today?
Please, you know, we had kind of a simulated situation for Mo where he had to, you know, get off the mound to get a couple bunts, and he had to get over on a 3-1, and you know, it worked out really well. I thought he moved very well. I thought he threw the ball very well. CC did basically 2 innings today in a sense, 2 20-pitch sessions, and pleased with both of them.
Does Mo have to prove anything else to you before he gets into a ball game?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you know, we'll start seeing him in games in a little while. He's still got some more simulated games to go, just to kind of, you know, go slow, and that way we can, you know, have him be forced to do some situations if he has any concerns about covering bases, and we can take care of that. How about Texie, huh?
There's one, and almost a double play. Davis too much speed. But you have a tendency to take him for granted over there at first.
Yeah, I don't. And, you know, it's a heck of a play to get down then, too, because you got to get down because, you know, the ball's coming back from short, right? Hits your head, and Pinder did a nice job of getting over there.
Yeah, we just got another look at it, Joe. The throw from his knees to second base knocks the ball down. Good throw to second base, and then the return, like you mentioned, gets out of the way, and Pinder makes the play, but a little bit too late. Joe, this spring training's been a little bit different for you with the World Baseball Classic coming up. Games started earlier. A lot of opportunities for, you know, we saw a young kid yesterday, Turley, starting the ball game. Any young players getting an opportunity that have opened your eyes a little bit?
Well, I think we've seen some pretty good things out of our young kids. Pinder has thrown well. Montgomery threw well yesterday.
Yeah.
He's going to get tested a little bit here because Rajah likes to run. He's going to have to get the ball to Bobby Wilson pretty quickly. But we've seen some kids swing the bat. You know, Slade had some good swings. Austin's is a good-looking young player. I believe that he is over in Kissimmee today. But there's some really good-looking young players here.
Up and in for a ball to Henry Blanco. Joe, as you look across the field, the Blue Jays, they've made a lot of changes. And, you know, there always seems to be a team that gets a lot of hype over the winter.
Yeah, there is. There's teams, you know, I mean, you look what the Angels did last year, and they got a ton of hype about what they did. And, you know, you get some injuries and things don't quite work out the way you expect them to work out. And, you know, you got to play the games. That's the bottom line. I mean, you can put together an all-star roster, and things sometimes just don't work out because of a lot of different reasons. So, you know, to me, it's who's going to be able to sustain the injuries and have people step up for them. And who's going to be able to keep the rotation healthiest might determine who wins this division.
That's very, very true, because injury problems can affect just about every single team. And it certainly derailed the Blue Jays last year when all their pitchers got injured.
Yeah, and I think, you know, everyone always takes a really close look at your team, and they don't, you know, they see the issues with your team. But every team has issues that they got to work out and they got to worry about. I mean, you know, people are going to talk a lot about age. Look at Texie, you know, for us. But, I mean, if you want, Larry, you probably might send him back out here. I mean, guys have to step up, and you know, we've dealt with age for a while, and our guys done pretty good.
Mark Teixeira with a couple of nice plays. We want to thank Joe Girardi. He makes things easier for the manager. Mark Teixeira at first base.
Guys.
We'll be right back. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Here we are getting ready for the bottom of the fifth inning. While we have a chance, let's check out the Mazda upcoming schedule. You can see tomorrow, right here on Yes, the Philadelphia Phillies coming across Tampa Bay to take on the Yankees. The Detroit on Saturday. The Detroit Tigers, followed by the Boston Red Sox on the road down at Fort Myers. You know, the one thing going on with all these games, you get to hear John Flaherty.
5 in a row right out of the gate.
And Bob Lorenz will be here with Flash. Bob just popped by in the booth just to say hi. We know he's made it into town. And he and Flash will be your duo tomorrow. Here's Aaron Loup, the left-hander, in there for the Blue Jays. We saw him last year on our Audi scoreboard. There is no score between the Yankees and the Jays. The hits are all even at 3 apiece. Dan Johnson will lead it off, lefty on lefty here, and he swings and hits one in the air to short center field. Coming on is Davis. He's got great speed, and he makes the catch. And speed came into play as he robs Dan Johnson of a hit. Davis can play all 3 outfield positions.
Well, Kenny, you mentioned yesterday if you can play the outfield during spring training with the high sky, the sun, and the wind, you can play anywhere. And Rajah Davis obviously can do that. Plenty of speed to make up for a bad jump in center field.
Ooh. Ball almost snuck out of that glove. Here's Jose Perella, who flied out to right field his first time and takes one over the outside corner for a call strike. Pretty good pitching by both sides in today's game. You heard manager Joe Girardi talking about David Phelps and David Artsma. Strike 2 quickly. Perella in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. And he's also praising Brendan Pinder, who is in there now pitching for the Yankees. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hit on the ground right back to the box. Loop handles it. Throws on the first to Encarnacion, and there's 2 outs. Well, Davis made a nice catch here, but I think this one was better, Flash.
See the drive to left field, and Davis climbs the wall, times it perfectly, and reaches over the top to make an unbelievable play. Casey McGee can't believe it.
Robbed of a home run. Showing some ups along with some speed. Pitch is low and inside to Gil Velasquez. Ball 1. Velasquez getting the start at shortstop today. He's played 32 games in the major leagues in the last 4 years. He hits the ball on the ground off the glove of the pitcher. Got to be a tough play for his tourist. He throws it, gets it. That'll go 1-4-3. As the Blue Jays showing some defensive prowess here in the bottom of the 5th inning to retire the Yankees in order. We're headed to the 6th. Still no score here at Steinbrenner Field. Nice play by Meiser, his tourist. We are back by top of the 6th inning. No score at Steinbrenner Field. New pitcher for the Yankees is Clay Rapata. Big part of the Yankee bullpen a year ago. 70 games, but only 38 in the 3rd innings. Jose Reyes squares the bunt, takes the pitch, and is down low for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Rapata, left-handed specialist, going to face a couple of switch hitters here in the 6th inning. Reyes, Cabrera, Batista coming up from the right side. There's a pitch in there for a called strike. Reyes
a prolific leadoff hitter, 60 extra base hits last year in what was said to be a down season. 40 steals, hit 287 for Miami a year ago. Hits one in the air to center field for Gardner, almost in his tracks. He turns and makes the catch for the out.
Kenny, we saw that defensive alignment for the New York Yankees as Reyes flies out to center field. Dan Johnson playing a little third base today.
Yeah.
Really think of him more as a first baseman, DH with power, but getting an opportunity here to show the Yankees coaching staff maybe he's a little more versatile than I thought he was.
Here's Melky Cabrera. As Flash pointed out, he too being a switch hitter. And he swings at the first pitch. Fly ball, fairly deep center field. Gardner going back, and he makes the catch. So it's 2 up on 2 down. 2 fly balls to center field. Well, Blue Jays, a lot of hitters swinging at the first pitch. Here's Jose Bautista. You're looking at Clay Rapata on the mound. Now, we told you all the appearances, 70 games he pitched in for the Yankees last year. Rapata has a record, major league record. He has the most appearances of any pitcher, never lost a game.
He's undefeated.
Undefeated. 148 major league appearances, has never lost. He's 8-0. That's a major league record. Pitches in there for a strike. And I think it helps because when he comes in, he usually only faces one batter. Usually faces a lefty. So he's in and out quickly. That pitch misses. And if he does his job, that means he puts nobody on base. He can't get a loss. 2 balls and a strike on Bautista, who today has drawn a walk and flied out to center field. Gardner's been busy. Bautista, now you can see he's a pull hitter. 81 home runs to left, 40 to center, and only 3 to right field.
Man after my own heart right there. Get the bat head out and pull it.
Call strike 3. Rapata won't be beaten today either. Gets the Blue Jays in order here in the 6th inning. Still no score. Basketball fans, tomorrow night the Nets are back at home at the Barclays Center to welcome Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. Coverage on Yes starts at 7:30 with the Verizon Fios pregame. And Ryan Rucco and Greg Anthony have all the action from Brooklyn. Yeah, that's Brooklyn, New York. Only on Yes. New pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays, another left-hander. It's going to be Brett Cecil. He made 9 starts a year ago for the Toronto Blue Jays. Now looking to solidify a role as a left-hander out of the bullpen. Out of the University of Maryland. And he'll get Gardner, Ichiro, and Teixeira here in the 6th inning. No score here at Steinbrenner Field. Blue Jays have made some changes defensively to try and catch you up, as Gardner takes the first pitch from Cecil in there for a called strike.
Mentioned Darren Oliver, the veteran left-handed pitcher, will pitch out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Cecil trying to get a job out there as well.
So is J.A. Happ.
Yep.
Aaron Loop. They could have as many as 4 lefties out of there. It pitches low for a ball. I don't know if they'll go with 4. Somebody might be the odd man out. But teams are always looking for left-handed relievers. High and inside, backs Gardner up, and it's 2 balls in a strike. Another view from the DirecTV blimp, which is circling somewhere overhead. You can see those flags. Along with the sun, makes it difficult for the outfielders. The wind, there's a line drive center coming on as the center field is going to fall in there for a base hit. So Gardner is now hit in every game. That's 4 in a row for him. He's having a great spring. It is no longer Rajai Davis in center. It's Ryan Langerhans.
Well, Brett Gardner, you mentioned Kenny's having a nice spring training. Obviously, you want to get hits every at bat, but you want to make sure you're locked in at the end of spring training, and Brett looks locked in here early on. Nice base hit. Take the rest of the afternoon off.
A pinch runner over at first, inside to Ichiro. Ichiro's had a hit today. Singled his first time up, and then was robbed of a hit when a hard smash to the second baseman is Torres in the 3rd inning. That pitch is in there for a strike. Slade Heathcott is running for Gardner at first base.
We saw Slade yesterday playing center field. Getting a lot of praise here in spring training for his work so far.
Chop foul at the home plate area. Zawatsky in left. Langerhans in center. Nanita in right. LaRoche, Goins, Negrich, Encarnacion still in there. And Mike Nikias now doing the catching. So several changes for the Toronto Blue Jays. There goes the runner. Heathcott on the move. The throw to second is in time. He's called out. Nice pick by Goins on the throw from Nikias. And that will go as 2-6 caught stealing.
Well, yesterday, Gene Michael, Stick Michael, telling me that Heathcott runs just like Brett Gardner. And a good throw from the backstop for Toronto. Nikias. Nice pick there.
Bouncing ball right back to Cecil. Turns and fires to Encarnacion, and there's 2 down. Ichiro hit that ball pretty well. So at 2 outs, nobody on. Mark Teixeira will come to the plate. Struck out, grounded to second, 0 for 2. Switches over to the other side of the plate against the left-hander, Cecil, and takes a pitch down low for ball 1. Teixeira hit a career low 24 home runs last year, but he also appeared in a career low 123 games because of injury. Strained the calf muscle. It pitches high for a ball. Came back for one night for a game in Baltimore and re-injured it. Had to miss some more time. Tough injury to get over.
Well, he admitted he changed up his winter program a little bit, hit a little bit more in the offseason, laid off the weights a little bit. We'll see if that'll help him get off to a quicker start.
Pitches high. And here's how the injury broke down originally at Yankee Stadium. Coming out of the batter's box, he felt something pull, and that bothered him for quite a while. You can see laboring Pitch for a strike, and it's 3-1. And then when he came back against the Orioles at Camden Yards, re-aggravated it, trying to beat out a double play, in which video proof showed that he did. That was the game-ending play, and it prevented the tying run from scoring. He'll take a pitch for call strike 2, and the count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And Mark has not been happy with the strike zone this afternoon. He struck out his first at bat looking, wasn't happy with the call. It's a 3-1 fastball, looks to be down and away.
Now the count is full. And here's your payoff pitch. And it's driven into left field. The left fielder Zawadzki's going to play it on the hop. And Teixeira has himself a base hit. So that will keep the inning going with 2 down.
A strange play out in left field from Zawadzki. I don't know if he didn't have a good look at this. Off the bat, I thought it was a routine fly ball to left field, but Mark Teixeira will take it. Didn't like the 3-1 call. He picks up a base hit.
You know what, Zawadzki, that did look like it should have been caught. Zawadzki's an infielder. He's been playing some shortstop. Maybe not used to being out that far away from the ball. Well, anyway, it goes as a base hit, and it brings up Travis Hafner. And Hafner hits a very high fly ball to deep right. Going back is Ricardo Nanita, and he'll make the catch, and that'll be it. Yankees pick up a couple of hits, but no runs here in the 6th inning. It's on to the 7th at Steinbrenner Field. Fans aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DIRECT-TV. Beautiful day here in Tampa Bay. Looks great from up there in the blimp. Defensive changes for the Yankees. Several changes. Slade Heath ran for Brett Gardner, stays in the game at center field. Ranier Mastelier is in right field. Tommy Neal's in left. Second is at third. Addison Marusak at short. Perella's still in the game. Kyle Roller's at first. And Bobby Wilson came on earlier for Chris Stewart. And Chase Whitley is the pitcher. Double A and Triple A last year. Only made a couple of starts. First pitch to Encarnacion is fouled back and out of play. Still no score. We're in the 7th inning. So Rapata came on for 1 inning. Had a strikeout. Retired the Blue Jays in order. And now gives way to the right-hander Whitley. Look out inside for a ball. On our Tri-State Ford scoreboard, the Yankees have out-hit the Jays, but neither team has dented the run column.
Well, what a difference a day makes, Kenny. Yesterday, not a great exhibition baseball game here in Tampa. Today, very clean, well pitched, not a lot of hitting. And when we showed up today, the wind blowing out.
Yeah, we thought today was the day it would be a lot of runs scored.
Good day to hit. Hasn't proved to be that.
2 balls and a strike on Encarnacion. He hits this one well to right center field. Going back is the right fielder Mastillier, and does he hold on to the ball as Slade Heathcock crashes into him? He does have it. And it looks as though everybody's going to be okay. Woo. That looked like something you would see on a football field.
You see Heathcock coming on, and he just wipes out the right fielder, Mastillier. Thank goodness it looks like everybody's going to be okay.
Wow.
You don't want to see anybody get hurt in a spring training game or at any point during the season, but especially when you have one of your best prospects in the outfield.
Wow. Need a little better communication.
And Heathcock, a kid who has been in the minor leagues, has had a bunch of shoulder problems, some surgeries. Looks like everybody's okay.
We're going to have a pinch hitter for Aaron Sibia here. First of all, we're going to take a look at this overhead. Heathcock with great speed coming on quickly. It's amazing that Mastillier was able to hold on to the ball. That pitch is in there for a strike. He looks to be all right. Luis Jimenez is a batter as he swings and misses. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. The Yankees shifting defensively for the big left-handed hitter who takes over as a designated hitter in place of Aaron Sibia. 310 in Tacoma last year.
You know, all we hear about is the Mariners are looking for offense. This kid is 310 in the minor leagues. Might have been able to help him.
You know what he's thinking? I leave and they move the fences in. Played for the Rainiers last year. Now, Flash, we go to Seattle quite a bit. There's some guys on, you know, the Yes crew that haven't been to Seattle in a number of years.
That's true. That is a shot, but that is true.
And every once in a while, you know, one of those sunny days, you know, there's a lot of clouds in the Seattle area, known for rain. Every once in a while, you look out your hotel window, and all of a sudden, you see Mount Rainier, and it's a beautiful sight. We're in the 7th. Swing and a miss. Looked like a good changeup. And ends out number 2.
So Whitley's numbers in the minor leagues last year, a lot of success because of pitches like that. Dives down and away. Great arm speed, didn't slow down at all, and sells the pitch and picks up a strikeout.
Although speaking of Seattle, I still recall the almost tragic incident when you ran over Bob Lorenz in the booth.
It's one of my greatest catches ever.
Bob has gotten over that physically, but mentally, I think he's scarred for life. Here's Andy LaRoche. And he'll take a pitch just outside for ball 1. He took over for Brett Lowry at third base. You know, after I saw that replay of you, this ball's hit well at left field. It's just going a long way. In fact, this one is gone, a home run. And we've got a score. It is now 1-0 Toronto on the home run by Andy LaRoche. Picked on a high fastball. That was a no-doubter. And the Blue Jays have taken a 1-0 lead.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. When you get in a predictable count, 2-0, 3-2, and you know a fastball is coming, it makes it a lot easier to hit at this level. And LaRoche gets a fastball up. It had that good sound. We mentioned the wind blowing out a little bit. No doubt about that one.
Ball hit through the middle. Solid single for a base hit. That was Ryan Langerhans. So after 2 were retired, a home run and now base hit. Here's Mike Nikias, the catcher.
See, last year 47 games with the Mets, known more as a defensive guy behind the plate.
Inside, puts him in the spin cycle, and it's ball 1. Popped up. Foul territory. Coming on is Kyle Roller, and he puts it away, and that'll do it. But the Blue Jays break through on the scoreboard for the home run. We're going to stay right here as we're going to listen to the very patriotic song, God Bless America.
Armed forces fight around the globe to preserve our freedom. Please direct your attention to the Yankees dugout and welcome Lieutenant Colonel Perry Blackburn of the United States Air Force, U.S. Special Operations Command, and a member of the Green Beret who recently returned from Iraq. Lieutenant Colonel Blackburn will stand with the Yankees during the singing of God Bless America. Let's have a warm round of applause for the Lieutenant Colonel and all of our brave men and women for all of their sacrifices for our country. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your caps. And now join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Second appearance of this spring season. How'd you feel out there today?
Felt good. Just, it was good to get out and face an AL East team. They sent over a lot of their normal guys, so it was good to get out and face those guys early in the spring so I can, get used to throwing to them again.
Obviously not the same as the regular season, but this Blue Jays team made a lot of moves this offseason. What do you think of them in 2013?
Yeah, they're going to be a good squad. The whole AL East is full of good teams this year. They always are. So it's going to be a battle day in and day out, and hopefully we can get the best of them.
You had mentioned to me last time that you wanted to work on some of your off-speed pitches a little bit more. Do you feel like you were able to do that tonight?
Yeah, we were forced to throw them a little bit earlier in the count because they were a little aggressive today. But yeah, I felt like we got some good work in today.
You feel like you are where you should be at this point in time as far as where you are in your throwing program and throwing in games?
Yeah, I'm really satisfied with the way the ball's coming out right now, the way my stuff's working. Just trying to get better each day. I mean, there's still some work to do, but just take that on tomorrow.
You're a guy that status is somewhat unknown, battling for that 5th spot in the rotation. Has that changed the way you've approached things at all the offseason and coming into this spring training?
Not at all. I mean, it was kind of the same, not the same boat last year, but a similar situation last year. Just I came in this year with the same expectation, just come in, try and show them what I can do, and hopefully that take care of itself.
How much confidence did you gain from being up here last year?
I mean, a lot. Just to prove to myself that I can get big league hitters out and that I can pitch in a number of roles was huge for me. Just going out and every day just pretty much doing something different. It's a lot of fun, but at the same time it helped me in a sense that I proved myself that I could do it.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Send it back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you very much, Meredith. That was Meredith Marakovits with David Phelps, who started this afternoon for the Yankees and did a very good job on a Tri-State Ford scoreboard. The Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. Phelps went 3 innings, no runs, a couple of hits, a strikeout and a walk. And you're impressed by how he threw today?
Really impressed. And, I was with David Phelps during the offseason at a Thurman Munson Award. He received an award, and I got to talk to him a little bit. He had been down here in Florida already throwing off the mound. And obviously what we saw today, he's ready to go in that competition for that 5th spot.
Here's Evan Crawford, the new pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. 10 games last year, 8 innings, gave up 10 hits. He's facing Thomas Neal. And that pitch is in the dirt, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Neal taking over for Juan Rivera, who was 2 for 2 with a double and a single. Neal was signed by the Yankees as a minor league free agent. He's been on 5 championship teams in the minor leagues. 5 of them. Pretty good ball clubs.
Kenny, I have to admit, I'm impressed. I don't even know who Thomas Neal is, and you know that he's been on 5 championship teams in the minor leagues.
Yeah, I read that this morning. I said, that's got to get on the air if he gets in the game. Off-speed pitch, hit on the ground at third. Nice stop by Adam LaRoche, and his throw is in time for the out. One nothing Toronto. Of course, if you go around the rim of the roof here, 27 championship teams for the New York Yankees. Flying proudly over Steinbrenner Field. Here's Bobby Wilson, who fouls a pitch off.
Kenny, just listening to David Phelps talking to Meredith, you just get why the Yankees like this kid. I mean, he's got good stuff, obviously. Intelligent kid, went to Notre Dame, and just handles himself the right way.
On the ground to second to Negrich, and he throws over to Lars Anderson, who's now at first base, and there's 2 down.
I think for Joe Girardi, manager, and Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, Phelps is a guy they trust now. They know he's going to throw strikes if he comes out of the pen. They know as a 5th starter, he'll give themselves a chance to win every time he takes the ball. Become very reliable in a short period of time.
Rob Seguin at the plate, and he takes a pitch low from Crawford. Yankees with 5 hits in today's game. That's high. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs, nobody on here in the 7th inning. On a day that the Chamber of Commerce of Florida would be very happy about it. Ground ball to third for LaRoche again. He gloves it. Now he throws it. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Yankees go down in order here in the 7th. It's on to the 8th at Steinbrenner Field. The Blue Jays lead by a score of 1-0 here in Tampa. Top of the 8th inning. Jim Negrich, the second baseman, is going to lead it off, and he swings at the ball. It's a ground ball to first to Roller, who flips to Whitley, and there's one down.
Tomorrow afternoon, the Yankees continue their tune-up for the 2013 campaign when they host the Phillies here at Steinbrenner Field. Complete coverage on Yes starts at 1 o'clock when Bob Lorenz and I are here in Tampa for all the action. Only on Yes.
Bob Lorenz makes his spring training debut.
Came in and did a little scouting earlier on in this game. He's ready to go tomorrow.
Ryan Goins. I got a fish story for you as you look at that beautiful lake here in the Tampa area. Goins takes a pitch over the outside corner from Whitley for a strike. Our producer, the esteemed Bill Bolin, went fishing the other day, saw an alligator and just gave it up. Just said, that's it, I'm out of here. You know, he had bait with him. He didn't want to become gator bait.
See, here's one of the problems with that story is that he didn't catch anything.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the gator scared me away. Now, if he would have caught some fish, all we would have heard about is how many he caught and the size.
He said there's no gators in Jersey, which I think is true, unless you go to a zoo somewhere. A lot of lakes around here, also a lot of alligators. Usually see them on the golf course, you know. There's a call strike to Goins, and it's 2-2. Blue Jays leading 1-0. We're in the top of the 8th inning, and now we're going to the fish stories. Got to find out when he's going back, and is he going to that same lake. Ground ball is hit hard, and it's a fair ball. Goins rounded first. He's going to be held to a single by Bustillier and Wright, who gets the ball back in quickly. Bill says no chance on the fishing. That's why you got to go golfing, Bill.
Well, nice swing by Goins right here. The lefty loves the ball down and in, hammers it just inside the bag at first base.
And it looks like we're going to get a pitching change as Joe Girardi's going to take the ball from Chase Whitley. The Yankees are going to go to the bullpen. We're going to step aside, but we'll be back. Have no fear. One out here in the 8th inning. Blue Jays leading 1-0. Well, I see some sand traps out there, Flash. And you ever been in any one of those?
I haven't been able to test my game out, Kenny. No days off down here. I'll have to wait till the weather warms up back home.
New pitcher for the Yankees is Juan Cedeno. And he'll come on 53 games last year at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Had a good year. 3-0, 2.81. 57 strikeouts in 64 innings. And he'll face a left-handed hitter, Lance Zawatsky, who took over in left field for Melky Cabrera. Man on with one out. Look out. Bat out of the hands of Zawatsky, and beyond the first base coach, Dwayne Murphy. And the bat ended up near the stands, and now a fan has it. And Zawadzki's going to have to get another bat.
Well, you come to the game thinking you might get a foul ball. You don't expect to get a bat. I like this here with Joe Girardi putting Cedeno in a situation here facing a lefty. Now, I'm sure they're on Twitter right away. Kenny taking a picture of that bat.
There you go. Posted for the world to see. Cedeno deals, and this time he holds on to the bat but doesn't get any part of the ball, and the count is 0-2. The Braves organization last year, AAA. Braves for many years were in Richmond, but now much closer to Atlanta. It's in the dirt. Good stop by Bobby Wilson, which, as I mentioned, the Braves used to be in Richmond. You know who's in Richmond now? Double-A team? The San Francisco Giants.
Really?
That's a long way from San Francisco. A buddy of mine, former teammate Ross Grimsley, is a pitching coach for Richmond. Been there for years. One-two pitch on the way. No, it's not. Toss over to first base. Check on Goins.
We talk about it all the time here in spring training when young kids like Cedeno get a chance to get in one of these big league spring training games, a situation against a lefty. Joe Girardi, Larry Rothschild going to pay attention to see how he reacts.
Fouled at the plate. Rolls on back to the screen. It's still 1-2.
Waiting to see that big breaking ball from Cedeno. Looks like he's got a pretty live fastball. Not afraid to pitch inside on the left-handed hitter.
If that's the case, it'll really open up the outside on a sweeping breaking ball.
Yeah, you'd expect to see it right here. Bobby Wilson giving the signs. Fastball in, last pitch. Looks like they're going to go to the slider.
He got him. Swing and a miss. And Zawadzki's out of there. That's out number 2 here in the 8th inning.
Oh, nice pitch by Cedeno. A nice job by Bobby Wilson keeping it in front. Really did a good job setting up this breaking ball with the fastball inside the pitch before. And when you do that, you're going to get a weak swing like he did.
Going to face another left-handed hitter now, Ricardo Nanita, who took over for Jose Bautista in right field. Tailing fastball misses the inside corner for ball 1. Good numbers in Las Vegas. 306 hitter out in the desert. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. John Gibbons looking on, his team leading 1-0. Told you a lot of excitement in Toronto. They drew about 25,000 a game last year. They're looking to draw many more fans this season. Not only is the city of Toronto all excited about this team and all the changes they made, you can go with the whole country of Canada. It's Canada's team, the Toronto Blue Jays. Fouled back by Nanita.
They're going to be an interesting team to watch this year. I mean, obviously all the improvements they made during the offseason, but not the easiest thing to do with all the expectations to go out on the field and actually put it all together. Manager John Gibbons has a lot of talent on this club. We'll see if they can live up to the expectations.
Yeah, the extra hype comes along with extra pressure to get the job done. 2-2 pitch on the way. Look out, and he has to jump back out of the way. And that's going to run the count full at 3-2.
That's the one thing, Kenny, the Yankees have always been good about, kind of living up to the expectations. You see the fastball in off the plate from Cedeno. Every year they're expected to go out and win, and every year they try to find a way to get to the playoffs. We'll see if Toronto can do the same thing this year.
Toronto has not been to the playoffs since 1993, 20 years ago. 3-2 pitch. Slider down and away, and it's ball 4. Nanita draws a walk, and the inning continues. Now 2 on and 2 out. Well, let's go back. 1993, a gallon of gas was $1.16. 29 cents to mail a letter. Schindler's List was the Oscar for the best picture of the year, and the Grammy for the song of the year, Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton. And the #1 show was Roseanne. Eric Clapton, great guitarist. And the first pitch to Lars Anderson is downstairs for a ball.
Well, you think back to those years, the Sky Dome just came into play. It was packed every night. They had an outstanding team. A lot of excitement 20 years ago in Toronto.
Check swing, but goes around too far, and it's ball and a strike. Think of Eric Clapton, you think of songs like Layla, Slow Hands. I used to have those every once in a while hitting. Crossroads. Pitch gets away and the runner's going to move up. Like a wild pitch. Goins will go to third. Nanita will move down to second.
Cedeno finding himself behind in the count a little bit more the last couple of batters. A slider down and away, and Bobby Wilson just does not do a good job getting down early enough. Ball ricochets off him. Wild pitch.
Cedeno's had his chance. He's had these left-handed hitters up here. That time he hits the corner, and it's 2-2. Runners at second and third. 2 outs here in the top half of the 8th inning. Blue Jays leading 1-0. That was close, but it missed. And the count is run full at 3-2.
See what Cedeno comes with here. Last at bat on a 3-2 count. He went with the breaking ball and he missed for ball 4. See if he has enough confidence here to throw it on a full count with 2 outs.
Here it comes, and he misses ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Well, we have time to tell you this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Here comes Larry Rothschild, and he's got a message. Get the ball over the plate. Bases are loaded with 2 outs, and another left-handed hitter will come to the plate.
Bad news, bases are loaded. The good news, like you said, Kenny, another left-handed hitter for Cedeno.
Luis Jimenez, who struck out his first time up.
Joe Girardi looking on. The biggest thing for Cedeno right here, get ahead in the count. Get a first pitch strike, and then you can go to work. He's gotten behind a little bit the last couple of batters. It's cost him a couple of walks.
Defense shifting towards the right. Big left-handed hitter at the plate. The first pitch is outside for ball 1.
He went off speed, and that's the one thing we've seen in this inning from Cedeno. He's got a good breaking ball, but having a tough time throwing it over the plate for a strike. He got a strikeout for the first out in this inning, or the second out in this inning, on that slider, but has not been able to locate it for a strike.
Hit hard but foul, and it's a ball and a strike on Jimenez. I think one thing a left-handed reliever has to be able to do when coming in out of the bullpen is throw his breaking ball for strikes to left-handed hitters. You got to create that doubt in their mind.
You're a situational lefty in the big leagues. You got to be able to get ahead on those left-handed hitters. Like you said, drop that breaking ball in for a strike, and then have the bigger breaking ball that can get a strikeout when you need it.
And make them chase it. I'm thinking of that's the way Clay Rapata works.
Mm-hmm.
1 ball, 1 strike, bases loaded with 2 outs here at the top of the 8th. Breaking ball misses. Curveball outside. 2 balls and a strike. At every base, a Blue Jay is perched. Ball, no, make that a strike. 2-2. Count is level.
Big pitch right there gets him back in the count. It looked like it was off the plate. Gets the benefit of the doubt on the call. Changes this entire at bat. Instead of 3-1 count, it's 2-2.
Yeah, that's. Oof. Bases loaded, 3-1 count. It's time to do business. At 2-2 now, you're semi-protected. Pitch is on the way, and it's a breaking ball. Count is full 3-2. So the runners will be off in, should we say, flying with Blue Jays on this 3-2 pitch with 2 outs.
Well, there's an old saying in baseball: if you're going to throw your breaking ball 2-2, you might as well throw it 3-2. But we haven't seen Cedeno have the confidence to throw it for a strike in this inning.
The runners go. The pitch is on the way, and it is in there for call. Strike 3. Jimenez caught looking, and Cedeno gets out of a major jam. Blue Jays fail to score here at the top of the 8th. Jimenez caught looking. It's on to the bottom of the 8th inning. Near the Yankee clubhouse, Meredith Marakovich is standing by with the Yankees starting right fielder, Ichiro Suzuki.
Thanks, guys. I'm with Ichiro Suzuki. Ichiro, how different was this offseason for you, not knowing initially if you'd be back here, and when did you come to the conclusion, hey, I want to be a New York Yankee again next year?
オフがあってヤンキーズに戻るかっていうのは分かんなかった時代あったと思うんですけど、いつヤンキーズに戻るって決めましたか？
いや、ヤンキースが声をかけてくれたら僕はもういつでも戻る準備をしてました。
If the Yankees needed me and wanted me, I was going to be here.
And I've heard a lot of stories about the way you prepare and the way you train in the offseason. Take us through your offseason hitting program, because it seems like you don't take a lot of time off.
オフの時はあんまり休んでないって聞いてるんですけど、どういうことをオフの時やってますか？
他の選手なら、死にかけるぐらい練習してます。
I think if you compare to other players, it's probably like maybe for them dying is what a word that comes to mind. A lot of work.
僕休んじゃうと気持ち悪くなっちゃって疲れちゃうんでそういう体になっちゃってるから僕は動いてた方が疲れも取れるし状態も良くなるんですよね。
You know, if I rest, I get more tired. So my body just made that way. I just keep working, and that's what kind of relaxes me.
Well, thanks, Meredith. Thanks, Ichiro, and thanks to Ichiro's interpreter because of the fact that this man worked so hard, been able to put up over 2,600 hits in his major league career. Leadoff single for Jose Peralta, and he's at first base. Here's Addison Maruzak. Took over at shortstop, and he swings and slashes one foul. John Stilson is a new pitcher at A-ball and Double-A last year and worked mostly as a starting pitcher. He's got a speedy runner at first. Yankees are down 1-0 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And he's going to check on it. Perella with that hit is now 1 for 3.
Good power numbers right there. 16 home runs from a shortstop.
I was talking with Gene Stickmichael the other day, and of course he's a talent evaluator that it's hard to find somebody who can evaluate talent like Stickmichael. He says Maruzak is just starting to come into his own as a hitter. Really had a good year last year. And Trenton should be at AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre this year. Says not only is he a good hitter, he's got a very strong throwing arm. That's a little bit low.
Well, it's an exciting time for a young player when you kind of figure out your game. You find a swing or an approach that works for you.
Remember your first big league camps? How pumped you were. You didn't normally start a game, but when you got in one, wanted to make something happen. His ball is hit in the air to center field. On the move is Langerhans. That ball was hit well, but it's out number 1.
We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Coming in at the end of these games, you might get one at bat, might have an opportunity to make one big play. Trying to make a good impression on the big league coaching staff.
Slade Heathcott took over for Brett Gardner in center. Gardner had a 1 for 3 afternoon. Heathcott takes a pitch. I like the way this guy stands at the plate. He looks, what do they say, hitterish? He looks like a hitter. Got other tools too. He runs well, throws well.
Yeah, that would surprise me talking to Stickmichael about Heathcott. He said he was talking about his speed. Yeah. Obviously, they love the way the ball jumps off his bat, but he said this kid can really run. Just looking for him to stay healthy this year, put in a full season. Numbers should be there.
Took that pitch down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Born in Texarkana, Arkansas. First round draft pick, 29th overall. Yankees #2 prospect by Baseball America. Southern League All-Star with Charleston. Hit on the ground slowly to second. There's one on the first, and they got him barely, but it's a double play. And that's going to end it for the Yankees here in the 8th inning. 4-6-3 in his turn. And still, at the end of 8th innings, it is 1-0 Toronto.
Always been tough. You look over the years, you know what, 3 teams last year, at least 90 wins. I mean, that tells you enough right there. So, you know, the 2 premier teams, you know, the Red Sox and the Yankees, I mean, every year they're in the things. You know, they play to win. I mean, they operate to win. And, you know, the 2 of the toughest cities to go play in and win if you're an opposing team. So that right there makes it difficult. And then, you know, Tampa's really come into its own. And then what Baltimore did last year, you know, now every team, and really Toronto, we're the only team that hasn't accomplished much in the last, it's been a long time. So we're hoping that's changed this year, and we think we got the team to do that. But, you know, with 5 teams that can beat you on any given night, it's going to be tough.
That's manager John Gibbons of the Toronto Blue Jays. There's the standings from a year ago. The Blue Jays in 4th place. They've been in 4th place 5 years in a row. That's where they finished. They're the only team in the American League East not to make the playoffs in the last 4 years. So, of course, this year they're going to try and do something about it. 1-0 Toronto in the top of the 9th inning. New pitcher for the Yankees is Jim Miller. And he's facing Andy LaRoche, who's one swing of the bat is the difference in this game. He hits a high fly ball straightaway center field. Heathcott going back and just in front of the warning track makes the catch for out number 1. The numbers on Jim Miller. It's with the Athletics. Very representative. Opponent's batting average just .217. From the Morris County area of New Jersey. Now with a chance to pitch in the Yankees organization. Here's Langerhans, and he swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Moving over as the third baseman, almost crossed into foul territory. But Johnson makes the play for out number 2.
We saw the numbers for Miller out in Oakland, and you look at his delivery, it looks like he throws across his body a little bit, gives him a little bit of deception.
It was not Johnson, it was Rob Seguin who made the play. So 2 up and 2 down. And the first pitch in the Kias is in there for call strike. First time up, he fouled out to the first baseman. Miller deals, and it's just outside for a ball. 1-1. Flash, I don't think we're doing any more games together this spring. There's a slider outside, are we? No, I don't think so.
We are not, no.
But I'll see you at the meetings, production meetings. It's when you take over, you preside, and do such a fine job every year.
So on our schedule, though, you and I are working a lot this year on the road.
That's good. That's good. The 1-2 pitch outside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Are we hitting the West Coast?
I have one West Coast trip. But Michael Kay is actually going to the West Coast this year. I know it's hard to believe.
West of the Mississippi. Here's a call, strike 3, and Jim Miller puts the Blue Jays away. 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 9th. The Yankees need at least a run to keep this thing going. Fans aerial coverage today brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. We've had some beautiful overhead views from the courtesy of the DirecTV blimp today. As we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, Blue Jays leading the Yankees, and Joe Girardi by a score of 1-0. And getting his first at bat of the afternoon is Ronnie Mastillier. He took over for Ichiro in right field. Survived a collision with Slade Heathcote. He's going to get himself an at bat. Chad Beck trying to close it out for the Jays, and Mastillier takes a pitch for a call strike. Guy's a pretty good hitter. 314 in the minors a year ago at AA and AAA. Strike two as Beck paints that outside corner. 94 miles an hour.
So Beck's numbers from last year in the big leagues, gave up a lot of hits compared to his innings pitched. But he jumps out quickly here, 0-2.
Line drive. He can't put him away. A base hit from Mastillier, and the Yankees have the tying run on to lead it off here in the bottom of the ninth inning.
A nice piece of hitting, but he also got a favor on an 0-2 pitch. That's a fastball right down the middle. As a pitcher, you work so hard to get ahead 0-2, and then you don't execute on a two-strike pitch.
Man. Stick Michael said Mr. Mastillier can really swing the bat. Here's Kyle Roller. Strike one call. This guy's got some forearms, doesn't he?
I'll tell you what, you get one up in the air. The 18 home runs last year in Tampa, the Florida State League, known as a pitcher's league with some big ballparks. 18 home runs, that's legit.
Big ballparks, heavy air, humid air down here in Florida in the summertime. My first league was the Florida State League. Seemed like it rained every day at 4 o'clock. Thunderstorms would roll on through. Ball and a strike on Kyle Roller. Big swing and a miss, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you can see what's on Mr. Roller's mind right there. Get one up in the air to right field and try to win this game for the Yankees. Got fooled with an off-speed pitch.
A little late on that one, fouls it back, and the count remains a ball and 2 strikes.
Pitcher Chad Beck has shown us he likes his fastball with 2 strikes. Kind of pitching backwards a little bit. Usually you see the off-speed pitches with 2 strikes. He's gone back-to-back fastballs.
Roller putting on a tough at bat, spoils another one, and count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Gee, I was just thinking, I said Florida State League was my first league. That's true. It was so long ago, Miami was in the league. Another foul ball off the bat of Kyle Roller.
Roller's getting a pretty good look at Beck's slider and some pretty decent swings.
Managers in charge of putting teams together, hoping everybody stays relatively healthy, and then before they move north. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Roller. Joe Girardi's already had to deal with some injuries. Curtis Granderson, Phil Hughes, Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis probably the least serious of those. This ball is hit high in the air to right field. Nanita is there. I'll tell you what, Roller just missed that one. Got underneath it just a bit. That would have been the game winner, and there's one down.
Yeah, Roller's going to go out to dinner tonight thinking about this pitch. He got a mistake, a fastball right down the middle. And he just worked underneath it a little bit. He had the pitch to hit, had a good at bat. Just didn't work out.
Gary Sanchez is going to get a chance here. He'll hit for Travis Hafner in the DH spot. Sanchez, one of the young catchers in the Yankees organization, known as a pretty good hitter, and he takes a pitch over the outside corner for a strike.
Jorge Posada was here in camp with the Yankees, actually flew home to Miami last night, but he was talking about Sanchez and his throwing arm, was very impressed. And you really hear a lot about Sanchez and his offensive game. And it was nice to hear Jorge talking about him behind the plate.
From the Dominican Republic, signed as a 16-year-old. Been an all-star a couple of times. On the ground to short. There's one. There's your ball game. Blue Jays have won this one by a score of 1-0 as Gary Sanchez wraps into a 6-4-3 double play. Blue Jays winning it on the home run by Andy LaRoche. So the Yankees go down by a score of 1-0. Well pitched ball game. Tomorrow the Yankees will play the Philadelphia Phillies right here. And we'll take a look at the final totals from this afternoon's ball game. As we mentioned, the Blue Jays win it by a score of 1-0. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Yankees. No runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. The winner is Cecil. Whitley's the loser. Beck gets the save. Brandon Morrow with 2 innings, 1 strikeout, 2 hits, no runs. Andy LaRoche with the solo home run, the only run of the ball game, and an outstanding pitching job in the starting role by David Phelps. 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. That'll do it from George M. Steinbrenner Field. Today's game produced by Bill Bolin, Senior Director Michael Cooney, our Senior Vice President of Operations Ed Delaney, our Supervising Producer Woody Fryman, and the Executive Producer is Mr. John J. Filippelli. Join us again Friday for Yankees baseball as the Bombers take on the Phillies at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. on the Yes Network. Once again, the final score, Toronto 1, the Yankees nothing. For John Flaherty and Meredith Marakovitz, I'm Ken Singleton saying so long from Tampa.